Okay, we are live to the internet.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast. My name is John. Joining me, as always, is the lovely, the talented, the enigmatic one himself from DisneyByTheNumbers.com, Tony Castelnova. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I am doing excelente.
Oh, so am I.
I think I really needed that extra day off this week, so thank you, Martin Luther King, for that.
I worked right through it.
Yeah, did you? Yeah, that's a shame.
I know.
Yeah. Now, yeah, my daughter was in. Well, it's still in town. She's leaving tomorrow morning, but it was nice. I had some extra time, so that was good.
Good.
Perfect timing for me.
Excellent. So we are very excited that you are listening, or if you're in here watching live on Blab, we record every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on blab.im. We invite you to come watch us record live. You can see us raw, where the mistakes are made, the whole 9 yards. You get to see us warts and all. And then we do the show after the show. We open it up. We talk about whatever's going on in the world of Disney. Whatever you'd like to talk about, we have two spots, count them two, that will open up, and we'll just have a little chitty chat about all things Disney. So without any further ado, let's get a little bit of housekeeping done. We want to let you know that the best way to keep up with what's going on with everything at Disney Parks Podcast is to sign up for the newsletter, which you can do that over at DisneyParksPodcast.com. You can sign up for our free newsletter. It goes out usually Wednesdays. It goes out, and it's where we let you know what's coming up. Some of our events are really cool things that are happening that we do. Plus, we put some special little articles that we don't put on the blog on there. So we encourage you to sign up for that. And for people who subscribe to the newsletter, you get the information before we post it on the website. So we're doing a survey, which Tony's probably going to talk about in just a couple seconds. And, they found out about the survey first. There's a really cool prize if you fill out the survey. So they had first crack at it when that came out. So little things like that we do to try to make the news a little bit more fun and exciting. So sign up for that, please, over at DisneyParksPodcast.com. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, please give us a review. Give us some stars. Let us know what you like. If there's anything we can do a little bit better, maybe things that you would like to hear. Just give us a little comment, and that helps us. That pushes us up to the top of the iTunes feed, and that helps us out a bunch. And then the last thing that I'll talk about is if you would love to support the show, help keeping us on the air, so to speak, please visit patreon.com, Disney Parks Podcast, patreon.com/Disney Parks Podcast to help us out. We have some things that we're trying to do, and every little bit that you guys do to help support us, we're very, very grateful for. Thank you guys. We've already had some people sign up, and we're going to get all the Patreon stuff out very, very soon. So patreon.com/Disney Parks Podcast.
Yep. So I have two interesting and I think fun and entertaining announcements. One is our annual survey. It's fun for us, maybe not so much fun for you. But if you fill it out, we have some nice, cool prizes. We got some shirts. We got some iPhone cases. We have our books we're giving away. There's buttons and pins and stickers. And this box is now sitting on my dining room table. I just keep throwing stuff in it. So it's like a potpourri of Disney stuff. And one person will walk away with that nice little prize package.
One person. Tons of fun.
The second big announcement, for breaking news right now, is we are having a party. So we are renting a room at the Animal Kingdom over at Kidani Village. We are renting a grand villa that is a 3-bedroom suite.
Yay.
And on Saturday, February 27th, we are going to open the doors to you, our fans, and I'll let you come in and have some fun with us for a limited time. And then we're going to have like 2 different time slots. So you can either come from 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, and you can come and have some fun with us and chit-chat, and, maybe we'll have some snacks, and maybe John will have his books to sign. Maybe I'll have my books to sign. We'll have stickers and buttons and magic and stickers to give from Magic Your Bands to give away. So stay tuned for more. We're going to give all the details on where to sign up and get everything done. You're gonna have to do a little invite thing, and we'll send you the room number so you know where to find us, obviously. And stay tuned for more of that. We're going to put it probably out in the newsletter first, give those people first crack at it, and then you'll hear more about it probably on the podcast next week. Hopefully I'll get that all set up.
Yes, and this is not some sleazy way to get people to come to your hotel room, right?
No, this is not.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Sure. That little bit sounded like, we'll give you the hotel. We'll give you the hotel room number. I'm like, dude, hang on.
No, this is not something creepy and weird. This is if you've ever want to see what a DVC Grand Villa looks like, this will be your chance to get inside one. Yes. You can take pictures and do whatever you want. Whatever you want. You can take pictures, and like I said, hang out, maybe have a drink or so, and not a drink, but a water or whatever.
Now you put the disclaimers in.
Yeah. It's not like we're getting weird people.
You get nervous, OT.
Yeah. No, we did it. I did it. Last year was the Grand Floridian. That was that was good.
Right when they opened up the new Grand Floridian villas.
We broke that room in right.
Yeah, we literally did. They were still fixing stuff when we were in there. Remember?
Yeah, can we get I think we had so many problems. I needed a pot. I needed a wine opener.
To get the TV turned on.
Yeah, the TV. We couldn't even work the television.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. So that's it. That's all we can say right now. Stay tuned in our newsletter and on the podcast and on the website, and there'll be more information. You'll get plenty of it, and then you can, hopefully people can attend. I know it's kind of a crazy time of the year to be doing it at the end of February, but that's what it is, kids. All right, let's get into some news. All right, first up, the destruction of Hollywood studios. They're tearing it down piece by piece. I think Hollywood studios is going to have a giant garage sale. They're just going to sell it off piece by piece.
Yeah, sad, tragic.
Yeah, well, it's got to happen. Out with the old, in with the new. So here are some of the things that we know are closing, and I think there's even more later on in the news. So first up will be Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the movie set will be closing. The Monsters, Inc. meet and greet will be closing. The studio catering will be closing. Used Guys merchandise, will be closing. The Streets of America, the Prop Shop, Watto's Grotto, formerly known as AFI Showcase, all will be closing to make room for the new Star Wars themed land, which will be about 25 acres. So, what else is saying? The Great Movie Ride between Muppet Vision 3D, which Disney has now confirmed is safe, I think for now, will still be open. Toy Story Mania will not be bulldozed, people.
No. Yeah, it's like, so everything, it's now official that everything north of the Great Movie Ride between Muppet Vision 3D, which is now confirmed to be safe, and Toy Story Mania will be bulldozed. What they're saying is basically Toy Story Mania, draw a straight line across the Muppet Vision, everything else is going to get the axe. Yeah.
And along with, and this is interesting, so they're saying that the water tower is going to be removed, and another website, I think it was WDWNT, had said that the water tower is going to be moved over to Disney Springs because that concept art has a water tower that says Disney Springs on it. Yeah. So it'd be interesting because that water tower is actually not operational; it's just a prop. A lot of people think it was actually a water tower, but it's not. It's just a prop. So it's a big prop. I wouldn't want to be moving it, but apparently it's really not that far. It's only down Buena Vista Street.
Yeah, I feel a little sad they're going to take the Earful Tower down. Yeah. And some people are like, "Oh, you think they'll leave the ears on it?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, no.
Take the ears off of it. It's going to be just a regular water tower.
Yeah, it's going to be Disney Springs. So that I think, well, if that's what they're going to do, if they're not just going to take it down and destroy it, but actually use it at Disney Springs, then I guess I can live with that for now. So that's it. There's a lot of things going on at Hollywood Studios, and so the interesting question someone asked me is, with a lot of these things closing, and a lot of them are not places that, there's a queue line or things like that. It's not an attraction. None of these are really attractions.
Right.
So somebody said, well, are the other things that are open going to be busy? I said, no, because they're not like closing, Tower of Terror, and then all those people have no place to go. None of those big, throughput attractions are being closed. So I think, it's still going to stay the same. The lines are going to still be the same.
Yeah. The scary thing is when you stop and think about, okay, so they're closing down Lights Motors. So
right.
You got Tower of Terror, Midway Mania,
mm-hmm.
Rock and Roller Coaster,
mm-hmm. Indiana Jones. Great movie ride.
And Muppets. So you have 6 attractions.
Yeah.
Is there any that we're missing?
I can't think of many.
I can't think of any either. And the thing is it going to be one of those things that the park is going to be worth $95 a day?
Yeah.
That's my only kind of pushback. Is just like, hey, Star Tours. Yeah, Star Tours. Yeah. Can't forget Star Tours, the adventure.
Well, for now, Star Tours.
They're going to leave.
I think
running.
Well, they're not going to close it, but I think once they start doing construction in that area, it'll be temporarily closed just due to access to it.
Sure. Yeah.
So that
it's
might
crazy.
happen.
I don't know what they're going to do, but hey, you know what?
Yeah.
They'll figure it out. They're Disney. That's what they do best.
Right.
Figure it out. Break it, fix it. Break it, fix it. So
rinse and repeat.
Yeah, rinse, repeat. One cool thing that they are doing over there is you've got that new venue space, the Sunset Showcase.
Yeah.
And they started doing the Club Villain events. So Disney's Hollywood Studios presenting Club Villain, which is a specially ticketed dining and entertainment offering available on select nights inside of said Sunset Showcase. Now, Club Villain takes place on certain evenings, and the cost is $99 per person. Tax and gratuity are included. Reservations are definitely recommended and can be made up to 90 days in advance online or by calling 407-939-3463. A separate ticket for admission to Disney's Hollywood Studios is required. So some friends of ours, Panda and his crew, and some other people, were there the other day. The pictures looked amazing. It looks like an incredible event. I think that this is the type of deal that I could probably get behind for $99.
Yeah.
As a pass holder, it makes a whole lot more sense. As somebody that's not a pass holder, so they would have to pay for admission into the park and then the $99, not so much. But as a pass holder, thumbs up, Disney.
Yeah. I just I think this is just a dessert party, if I'm not mistaken, for $99. I would have liked to see full on meal. That would have been more fun.
Yeah. So Serena says there's no full meal. It's an open bar.
Yikes!
Oh, dude.
Uber ride home.
Should we bring her on to talk about this?
Yeah.
Can we bring you on?
Yes.
Yep. Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
How are ya?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You're good.
He's on here. Yeah, so Club Villain was amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Truly amazing. Can you hear me okay?
Was it sit-down dinner or buffet or?
It was a sit-down dinner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was like food stations set up.
Okay.
They had top-notch food. I mean, really good food. It wasn't like buffet food that's been sitting there a while kind of thing.
Right.
Wow.
It was, they had beef loin, that they carved for you.
Right.
They had shrimp, like the spicy shrimp, because it was New Orleans style. So it was spicy shrimp. They had a gumbo that was really good. They had a lot of various sides. Each villain had their own dessert table with signature desserts themed after them. And then each villain also had a signature cocktail.
Right.
Wow. So you got to do all that. And then I saw that there were great character interactions, meet and greets.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of Panda and the Evil Queen. I thought that was really cool. So who is taking part in the villains soiree?
Yeah, who are the villains?
So you've got, it's hosted by Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog.
Mm-hmm.
He's the host. And then you have 4 villains. You have Maleficent, the Evil Queen, the Queen of Hearts, and Cruella.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Was Cruella really that mean?
No, she's not. She's very flamboyant. I think she's more crazy than...
Spoken like true non-dog fans. Hello. She cut up Dalmatians and made a coat out of them.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Really? Come on.
No.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah, come on.
Allegedly. Oh.
No, but she is... she's really fun. The difference with this, the unique thing about these meet and greets, this is basically like, if you think of this as like a character meal for adults.
Ooh.
So the theme and the vibe was very mature, and the villains were very much in character. So someone had a little baby, not baby, but like a toddler, and she was trying to get Maleficent to wave to the baby.
Right.
And Maleficent just curled up her face and looked at the baby and just kind of made a little shooing motion with her hand, like, go away. Which I thought was hysterical because it was in character. I mean, Maleficent wouldn't be like, oh, you cute little baby. Like she wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So it was definitely catered more to the adults. And Maleficent is more, she looks more like the movie Maleficent, more the Angelina Jolie of Maleficent. Yeah, she wasn't green. She didn't have, she was just, kind of high cheekbones and sort of an extreme appearance. And then Queen of Hearts was a face character for the first time I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, were there a lot of people there, and were there a lot of kids there?
There was not a lot of people there. I think what was nice about it is they kept it small. I would say maybe 120 to 150. So it felt very exclusive, very VIP. They had, they didn't, they certainly didn't limit children. They did not give a children's price. So you were going to pay $100 for a 2-year-old to come in that wouldn't drink and wouldn't hardly eat.
Right.
If that's what you choose to do, that's, they're not going to stop you. But the overall vibe with the entertainment and everything was very sophisticated. Some of the dancing and so forth was a little sexy, definitely not, it was still family friendly. I mean, I would take my over 10-year-old kids, no problem. Under that, I would maybe question it.
Yeah, because I did see the some of the other dancers, and that is not it's a Disney costume, but it was a little bit on the edgier side of a Disney costume.
Yes,
it was kind of a topless.
They do that though, like during the Halloween dance party.
Yeah,
on the castle stage, they were a little hot and up a little bit this year, if I can say that word.
Yeah.
That's kind of good, I guess.
And also, you're saying that Maleficent wasn't the green painted, and I think for the Halloween party she normally is. So it was different that she wasn't for that party.
And being able
to trying to tone it down.
I don't know. Interacting with the Queen of Hearts was so cool too, because normally she's never talked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's that
she was,
costume head thing.
yeah. So she was kind of, I would say her personality was kind of along the lines of Cruella, but with a little more crazy.
Nice.
She's a little crazy.
So she
cool.
definitely, she would get those crazy eyes when she would like
Right.
look, and the way she posed and everything, and she was just really over the top. She was super fun.
Was there any takeaway, any swag from the event?
No swag other than the invitation that you got printed.
And
that had the
belly.
menu and stuff. Yes, yeah. Open bar. I mean, that's pretty huge. I mean,
for Disney, that's huge. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. Sorry.
They
And
like
the drinks
to,
were good.
limit the intake. Yeah.
Yes, and the drinks were good. And you had the 4 cocktails, so each one had their own cocktail. And then they had beer and wine, sodas, water, tea, all that stuff. And then, it was all, as much as you wanted. And I mean, the way I figure it, if you were to go get a nice dinner at, say, like California Grill, you were going to get appetizers, main course, dessert, and a couple mixed drinks. You'd be at $100 anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's easy. Yeah. I've done that.
We did it New Year's.
Yeah, did it New Year's, right.
So you would say on the whole, it was a good experience. About how long was the event? Was it like you came in and then they ushered you out, time for fireworks?
No, we went to the second seating. So ours started at 9:15 and it ended at 11:30. So it's a little over 2 hours. After you checked in, they gave you a little invitation that gave you your table number on it. And then they had champagne and cold bottles of water for people while they waited for the doors to open, which is very nice. Like waiters with a tray, like very posh.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really nice. Then you went in, got ushered in. They kind of directed you to start eating if you liked, where the drinks were, etc. And then I would say within 15 minutes or so, Dr. Facilier sort of makes an entrance with his assistant named Kunzo, I think his name was, something like that. He's not like a known character. Something like that. And they come in and they kind of welcome everybody. They begin a little singing number. The assistant is like Broadway level singer. So he's the real talent in this whole show. And they have the dancer, like couple dancers that came out, and then they introduce the villains, and each one has an entrance that they make, and it's very dramatic and whatnot. And they kind of circle the room, and Dr. Facilier is singing and doing an act, and then they go to their respective areas. Each villain had like a throne area that they could sit in. And then on your invitation, you were given a time slot to visit each villain so that you wouldn't have to wait in any lines.
Oh, wow.
That's a great idea.
Pretty smart.
Yeah.
Now, had you been in the Sunset Showcase? Had you been in the had you been in the room prior to the event, like for the Club Disney thing that they did? Did you see that? Was it demonstrably different? Did they turn the room in such a way as completely unique?
I don't know how they did it in the amount of time they had, because Club Disney ends at 5, and the first seating for this was at, I think, 6:15 or 6:30.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So I don't know how they did it. It was dramatically different. I know that some parts of Club Disney do have like a curtain. There's like a curtain area. So there's a few little alcoves. That's where the 4 alcoves that are curtained off is where the villains meet. So they could have had that all set up ahead of time. And then the big areas that wrap around the room where they project like dancing figures and stuff during the dance parties, they were done up in the various villain themes. So when Cruella was sort of being highlighted, it was, Dalmatian spots and, fire and various things. So that was pretty cool. But the overall, like the buffet tables, all the tables set up, everything was very themed. The there was a giant crystal ball in the middle that was like a poison apple, giant poison apple.
Wow.
Really, really cool.
Cool.
I've been to a lot of Disney stuff. This is the best event I've been to in terms of the quality. Very, very VIP feel, very posh, high quality level in terms of the entertainment and in terms of the food and drink.
Cool.
Wow.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Now we're going to have to try it.
I know.
Definitely.
I just wish they were going to do it more often. I mean, there's only 7 weekends. They've canceled March.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they originally booked it, and then people were informed that if they booked in March that they were canceling them, they were refunded. So it's 7 weekends. All that work and the training and the cast for 7 performances, or 8 because the first night had 2.
Right.
It seems a lot. So I don't know if maybe they've got some use for this, that we don't know about.
Right. Well, I'm sure that they'll figure out a way to use it or do something different with it, and that's cool. I mean, that's really cool. I'm glad that you guys got to go, and it looked like you guys had a really good time. And Panda, as always, does a great job. Capturing that event.
His video on YouTube is great. He's got a good synopsis of it.
That's what I saw today.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I'm sure there's some bean counter somewhere that's trying to figure out, how much revenue this room should produce per month.
And did it?
Well, they probably
pan out.
Yeah, they probably got the bill for the bar tab on the first night. It was like, whoa!
Wait a minute, we can't be having this in March. Hold on, we got to raise the price to $1.99.
Yep,
that's probably what they're thinking.
It probably would still sell out.
Yeah, probably.
Because
there are. What was the last dessert party thing they did? It was really overpriced for a dessert party. I mean, more than $99.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I'm glad to see this was only $99 and it was actually a meal. Who would have thought?
A nice meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, because the Star Wars dessert.
Maybe it was a Star Wars dessert party.
I don't know how much that one was. I never really seriously considered going to it. I don't understand paying for that.
We went to the fireworks dessert party at Disney a couple of years ago. But that was a couple of years ago. And, again, I said the same thing right before you got on. I said this, and I'll say it again. As a pass holder, this seems to make sense to me. Because, if you're only talking $99 or if you're talking, $125 for some type of event, kind of makes sense. I understand. But the thing is, as a non-pass holder, dude, you have to pay $100 just to get into the park, and then you have to turn around and pay another $100 just to get into this party. Seems a little cost prohibitive to me for people on vacation. But hey, I don't know. I'm not your typical Disney fan.
Yeah.
What is I can't remember off the top of my head, but what's the ferry boat dessert cruise now? That's expensive, I think. I think it's maybe $99.
Illumination.
And that's only dessert. No, the one the Magic Kingdom ferry boat cruise party on the big ferry boat, not the small boat. They have a big ferry boat thing that they do now, the cruise.
Right.
I think that's $99, and that's only dessert. So, and then the Tomorrowland Terrace fireworks thing, I think, is now $49, and that's dessert only as well.
Yeah.
So $99 for a meal is a steal, I think, for Disney.
And for the alcohol, I can't get over that.
Yeah, the open bar is definitely dope. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you're not getting alcohol. Well, you're not getting alcohol in the Magic Kingdom, and you're not going to get it on the boat. So,
yeah. So, so a good question. Joel asked: was it a full bar, or was it just beer, wine, and the cocktails of the night?
That's right. Just the beer and wine, and then those
So
four
I couldn't
cocktails.
get vodka cranberry. I couldn't say I want vodka cranberry. Nah, it's not so bad. That's not so bad. Well,
I'm
hey,
sure if you brought your own vodka.
Yeah, you can
can't get it into the park legally. Legally, you can't get it into the park.
Mm.
Not
I
saying
think
that I haven't done it, but
The cranberry?
no. So that's cool. Well, thanks
You're
for
welcome, guys.
sharing all that. Why don't you, now that we have it here, why don't you
Yeah.
share with everybody how people can find you and who you are on the internet? And, you know, we were on your blab last week, which we had a great time. Thanks a lot for having us. So why don't you share, since you did such a great job of reporting and offer that up, why don't you tell everybody how?
I have a full write-up on and pictures of the Club Villain on my website blog, which is livingbydisney.com. And you can find me there. You can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Periscope under my name, Serena Lynn.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Thanks, guys.
I would suggest going to give her a follow.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, thanks.
I'll sign off now.
All right. Bye. All right. That was good. So let's move on to the Lion King Guard adventure. I'm assuming this is replacing the the Wilderness Explorer.
I don't think so. I think this is in
addition to?
Yeah.
All right. So coming February 7th, if you have seen the hit TV movie, The Lion Guard: Return of the Roar on the Disney Channel, you don't want to miss this new activity coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom. Guests will be able to become honorary members of the Lion Guard in a brand new experience called Disney's Lion Guard Adventure. What a shock!
They're
crazy.
They're so simple with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So this interactive experience will allow young guests to explore the park in search of 5 main characters from the Lion Guard: Keon, Bunga, Fuli, Bishi, and Ono. Who made up these names?
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Who are representative as colorful statues that are perfect for a kid-sized photo op. The experiences encourage interest in The experience encourages interest in protecting animals and caring for nature. Once they've completed the adventure, each child can take a special pledge to become the honorary member of the Lion Guard and receive a special baton. This activity is currently scheduled through late March. So apparently it's going to come and it's going to go. It's not here to stay.
Yeah.
Interesting as that may be.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, why go like that? I mean, it's a very limited window.
Tie in with the TV show.
Yeah, but crazy.
Yeah.
All that trouble for printing, making things, and then it's poofy gone.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Why don't they fix the Yeti? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, let's stay over on that side of Walt Disney World and talk about the new menu items available at Sanaa at Disney's Kidani Village. I love Sanaa, so I'm very excited by this. Sanaa offers a melding of Indian and African influences inspired by the resort's African theme and the melding of those two cultures so closely connected on the ancient spice trade route. Chef Eddie Mendoza, who is a sweetheart of a guy, by the way, has added new dishes to the menu that he calls, quote, African with an Indian touch. New favorites include a traditional, this is why you gave me this one, isn't it?
But no,
son of a gun. New flavors include a traditional sausatie cooked on skewers with lamb and apricots and served with butternut squash, bacon, cashews, and goat cheese. The biryani, generally considered an Indian dish, gets an African spice and seasonal vegetables influenced by the Cape of Good Hope. Another new offering is Bear Wars and Slappa. Good Lord, have mercy.
Slapahakafanitas?
God bless you. Another new offering is a traditional South African sausage served with a Cape May onion salad. Existing favorites are also still available on the menu. So this is great. They're adding a few new items. It's always good. I'm telling you though, my favorite still is just getting bread service and a glass or two of wine from South Africa. But that's awesome.
We'll have to see if we can make a reservation for this in February.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah. Wow.
We should go down and crash the place. That'd be awesome. I'm sure Chef Mendoza would be like, great, you guys again.
Exactly. This is probably going to be the podcast of refurbishments too. So we've heard that Fantasia Garden Mini Golf is going to get a little rehab. The Fairways course at Fantasia Garden Miniature Golf will be closing January 18th for refurbishment. The course is still currently scheduled to reopen on February 12th, and the garden course will still remain open for customers to enjoy. So they're going to close one side, fix that up, then they'll close the other side, and then fix that side up.
That's smart.
So,
that's really smart.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so let's take it down the road a little bit and go to Disney Springs. There's a little bit of news there. The Willis Clan will be performing at Disney Springs. So the Willis Clan is a family musical group known for their reality TV series on TLC and appearances on America's Got Talent, which is pretty exciting. They're going to be performing at Raglan Road Irish Pub and Restaurant at Disney Springs now through the 22nd. So if you're listening to this, it's the 19th through the 22nd. Hopefully you caught the performance if this is after that date. But that's pretty cool that they're coming in doing that. I love that they're bringing in something a little different at Raglan Road. I've been there a couple of times, and it's been the same act both times.
Right.
And those guys look like they're bored. So it's time to mix it up a little bit. Give them a break.
Yeah. Also at Disney Springs, La Nuba by Cirque du Soleil now has a new act. This time they are bringing in a high-energy trio of break-dancing b-boys that will make your head spin and mesmerizing aerial bamboo act that will leave you breathless. So the question I ask myself is, why are you recreating the show one act at a time? You know, they're bringing in new things, which I think is great. Just why don't you bring a whole bunch of new stuff and call it something different? Call it a new show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think
they keep bringing in new things, but they're not really changing the show. They're just changing the acts.
Well, no, they've changed out some acts before. There's a lot of acts that have gone by the wayside. Like last year, the first two clowns that they've had for many years retired.
Yeah,
they brought two new ones in. Yeah, they were funny, and the new guys are okay.
The BMX bike people?
The BMX bike guy is different. You know, but they've got some acts that, you know, they just kind of age out. I guess they get tiresome, or they get to the point where, you know, those people need to either move on or take a break. And, you know, Cirque du Soleil's always got incredible things happening all over the world. So I'm sure that, you know, they've got opportunities at different Cirque shows that they want to go to. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to Cirque, you need to. It's really awesome.
Yeah. And they do have a couple times a year Florida resident discounts and annual pass holder discounts. And they're on the cheap. The last time they did it, I mean, you could have sat, you know, on the orchestra floor, you know, the closed seats for, I think it was only like $49, which, you know, is a steal because I think those seats normally go for like $79. So that was a $30 discount. So
yeah. And so, like we talked about, there's been several acts that have changed over the years. Like, it's really funny if you notice, like a couple years ago, they had a girl who was kind of the main person who looked like a bird. It's, you know, she was kind of one of those. She was just kind of a character in the performance. But I haven't seen it since they've changed it over. I don't think she's still there. So now it's a different person is the main focal character.
Yeah, we had those one tickets that my daughter gave us. That was frighteningly close.
That was too close.
Yeah.
I almost wore a bike tire.
Yeah, when that guy came right at us, I was like, "All right, this is it. I'm gonna die right now." That was crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good fun.
So they've got some new merchandise inspired by Disney parks coming, some new figurines inspired by characters and icons from attractions found at Disneyland or Walt Disney World resorts have recently been released at Disney Centerpiece inside of the Marketplace Co-op at Disney Springs. Originally, the collection included a stylized Sleeping Beauty castle, Mr. Toad, and the Orange Bird, elephants from the Jungle Cruise attraction, and a pineapple ice cream trinket box. The new figures feature the crocodile from Peter Pan's Flight, Big Owl from Country Bear Jamboree, and Figment from Journey into Imagination. Monstro the whale found at Storybook Land Canal Boats at Disneyland Park, a hippopotamus from the It's a Small World attraction, and a miniature version of the Moonliner from Tomorrowland at Disneyland Park.
Ooh.
I'm hoping that those Disneyland pieces are available here at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
I saw, though, the picture for the Figment and the Big Owl and the crocodile. They looked amazing. And then somebody shared a picture the other day. There apparently is a new series of they're not Vinylmations and they're not dolls, but they're collectible pieces. Somebody put they were Lilo and Stitch, and they were in boxes. And I'm like, oh, it's called I want to say it's called the Artist Collection. But I saw a picture and I have to track down where those are. So this is what the Marketplace Co-op was built for. To bring in cool new art pieces to see if they can go mass scale, and to bring in some things that aren't necessarily available in the parks. So I love this.
Yeah, I don't see any of them on the Shop Disney app, so maybe they're too new for the app yet. So I'll have to check. All right, one of my favorite attractions in the Magic Kingdom is going down for a little rehab. I think it's a much-needed rehab, by the way. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is going to be down from January 18th to February 12th. The Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin has been seen having some better versions of the Toy Story. It's the bad stepchild of the Toy Story Midway Mania, but it's really starting to show its age. If you've been in that queue, the wallpaper, people have been peeling it off and sticking it, and it's terrible. But and it's also been breaking down a lot. So I think they're going to go and fix all these. Some guns have not been working. Last time I was on it, my gun didn't work, and then they allowed me to go again. I got, when I got off, I said, hey, my gun didn't work. She says, oh, just get back on. And we went back through and did it again on, obviously, one that did work. So it's, I think it's overdue. And I'm surprised it's only going to take them about a month to do this, too, because the queue is in really bad shape. So maybe it won't take that long to peel all that stuff off and put on some new stuff. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, my favorite version of the Space Ranger Spins in Paris, right?
Is it really?
Yeah, it is, because it goes super slow. And I killed the score on it. It's like do. It goes really. It goes slower than I walk. I mean, it's.
Can you hold the gun there? Because down in California, you can hold their gun too.
I don't remember. I want to say that you could, but it's been a while. But yeah, that
we're the only one that have the mounted guns.
Yeah, that attraction is a great ride, but it's based on such old technology that they need to do something to it. And how long is the refurbishment for?
Only a month.
Yeah, so it's just going to be cosmetic. It's not going to be anything major, but still, it could stand. Buzz is starting to look. The Buzz's face projection starting to look a little faded, so he could stand
like
to
he's
have
melting.
Yeah, he could stand to have a little bit more work done.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
I think they're just trying to put lipstick on a pig until they can figure out something better to do.
Oh, I thought you're talking Buzz Lightyear. You're not talking about Tomorrowland, right?
Yeah, just the one thing, John.
Well, lipstick on a pig.
Yeah,
aka Tomorrowland. Speaking of Rapunzel.
Whoa.
Now, if you're a fan of Tangled and Rapunzel, the Rapunzel show is once again back, and Rapunzel and Flynn Rider are together again as Tangled returns to the Royal Theater in the Fantasy Fair at Disneyland Park. Resident Renaissance men, Messrs. Smith and Jones, bring this story to life with the assistance of some fellow villagers and a little help from the audience. This is great. I cannot remember off the top of my head why they took it out, but I'm glad they brought it back. It's something to look forward to. I think this is probably Disneyland's version of our Tales with Belle, sort of. They bring audience members in to tell the story.
Right.
So that's cool.
Right. And yet another rehab. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is going under rehab from April 4th to July 16th. So it's like almost right at the beginning or the middle-ish of the summer season. But this is the first real major refurbishment of 2016 at the Magic Kingdom. It'll happen this April when Big Thunder Mountain goes down for a lengthy 3-month rehab. While we don't know exactly what the changes are that are taking place during this time, the 3-month time allotment implies that some pretty major improvements are in store for this attraction. So it's worth mentioning that Disneyland's version of the Big Thunder Mountain got a much serious upgrade in 2014, which included new track, projection effects, and a complete overhaul of the third lift show scene. So though the Disneyland refurbishment lasted over a year, the Magic Kingdom could simply copy some of these improvements with relative ease, especially the projection elements and the changes to the show scenes.
Didn't we?
Of course. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Didn't we get a big refurbishment a couple years ago on this ride? They added the mine scene. They added the stuff in the queue area.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. And maybe that's why we don't need that big refurbishment. Maybe this is just they're going to add some of those things into this show. And but I thought the last time ours went down for that year, I thought we did get new track. So.
I thought we did too. I thought we got a lot during that refurbishment because it was down for a long time. And I know they were talking about the queue and all that stuff. Savannah's talking about the Paris versions that have gone a year-long refurbishment. That ride is awesome too. I like the Paris version of that attraction almost better than I like any of the versions in the States.
Right.
But yeah, I could have swore that we had a rehab.
We did.
Yeah. So I don't know how much more major. I mean, there's that one scene that they still need to fix. The last big drop where you go up and the rocks used to come in on you. They still need to do something with that. But
make it look realistic.
Make the rocks come in on you. They don't do that anymore. They don't move.
Yeah.
It's like the Disco Yeti.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, sorry. Couldn't resist. If you love Disneyland as much as most Disney fans probably do, ABC's announced that the wonderful, I get it. Sorry. If you love Disneyland as much as most Disney fans do, ABC's announced that The Wonderful World of Disney, Disneyland's 60th, will air on Sunday, February 21st from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Sweeps special will air while the network's Sunday drama lineup is on hiatus until March. ABC will celebrate the inventiveness and inspiration of Walt Disney's big, bold creation with a star-studded Diamond Anniversary event, both in the heart of Hollywood at the Dolby Theater and throughout some of the most iconic locations at Disneyland Park, including Sleeping Beauty Castle and Main Street USA, as well as Cars Land and some of the themed areas at California Adventure Park. The special will also showcase 2 displays of technology, the Paint the Night Parade and the World of Color Celebrate. The Wonderful World of Disney in Disney California Adventure Park. The list of performers will be announced in the coming weeks. Walt Disney opened Disneyland on July 17th, 1955, and the resort will continue the 60th anniversary Diamond Celebration throughout the summer of 2016. The celebration, which also features sparkling decor, themed food and merchandise, will conclude, wink wink, on
Yeah. I really, really, really miss this show on Sunday nights. I mean, it's one thing I remember from my childhood, almost begging my parents, hey, can we stay up to see the Wonderful World of Disney?
Right.
The whole Tinkerbell comes and open, the whole, let's Google it. You'll find it. You'll love it.
Yeah.
I am really interested I hope they don't make it like the Christmas Day parade and make it an infomercial.
Oh, they will, bro.
I have a feeling that's where they're going with it this is going to be the last summer and they're going to, really try and drive traffic, to the park. I get it. I understand it, but I hope they treat it with the respect that it deserves and really make it a show and really make it entertaining. Right. And, the special part where it'll showcase the 2 displays of the technology, Paint the Night and World Color. I really hope that they do that right and they just don't, glaze over it, like a chocolate donut.
My fear, unfortunately, is that Disney can't help themselves. They'll bring in some of the actors from Star Wars. They'll bring in some of the actors from whatever the next set of movies are coming out, and they'll have it won't be, they use The Rock at Christmas. There'll be the little girl. Yeah. She'll be. I remember the first time I went to Disneyland and my brother, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll do the tie-in to Aulani, and then they'll do the movie promo, and then, they'll do the Marvel promo, and they'll do the next Star Wars movie promo. I understand that. But my fear is, my big fear is that they're going to lose the sincerity of the moment because I'm a Disney person. I do the cruises. I do the whole shooting match. This is a big deal. 60 years for any one entity to consistently be as successful as it is a big deal. And I'm not sure that there's enough people making decisions that treat it that way. Yeah. And I rag Michael Eisner a whole bunch on the show. But that's one thing that he did do right.
Mm-hmm. I heard Dick Van Dyke was going to host this extravaganza.
He is the Disney.
I think so. Yeah. See, Joel's saying he saw him in the trailer too. So
yeah,
I don't know. I hope Dickie Van Dyke can pull it off. He's getting up there in age.
Yeah. Let's not talk about people dying. It's been a rough couple of weeks for me, man.
Yeah.
Been a really rough.
They're dropping like rocks.
Yeah. We'll edit this part out, man. But I had a really hard time yesterday when I found out that Glenn Fry died.
Yeah.
That really hit me. Being a musician, and part of my musical training was a buddy of mine invested many, 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 many weekends, me hanging out at his place and him teaching me about music, listening to the Eagles stuff. So that was just really hard yesterday. Yeah. So anywho, on a higher note, I hope that Dick Van Dyke can pull it off.
Yeah. I just hope it's spectacular. I'll have to set my DVR so I can, rerun it, replay it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll do some things I'll like and some things I won't like, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, let's cross the pond a little bit. And Disneyland Paris is getting a new show. And this story, if it comes off a little weird, it's because I had to translate it. It's very interesting on the Disneyland press site. There's a whole bunch of stories. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. That looks cool. And they're all in French, which I don't speak. But then when you click to turn it to English, all those stories disappear and all these crappy stories appear. So I was grabbing them as from the French version and then having to translate them. So if this doesn't sound like it's in English, it wasn't. All right. So anyway, that being said, the Forest of Enchantment, which will be a new Disney musical adventure. So starting February 10th of 2016, a brand new show created in the spirit of Broadway musicals will be launched at Disneyland Paris. The Forest of Enchantment, a musical adventure where Disney invites visitors to pay tribute to nature and the world of the forest. with Disney's heroes and heroines. Alternately, Pocahontas and John Smith, Baloo and King Louie, Tarzan, Rapunzel, and Flynn Rider, without forgetting Merida, will appear on stage to perform live the most famous songs from their respective movies. Surprisingly, scenery will change over stories carried by the spirits of the forest, inviting viewers to discover new worlds as if they were turning the page of a pop-up book. This new musical will be played exclusively on the stage of Chapnell Theater, which is in Frontierland, from February 10th to May 8th of 2016.
Yeah. Having trouble with English there, buddy.
I thought English was my first language. Apparently it's not.
Translated English is your second language.
Yeah. Translated English.
Yeah, again, this sounds so cool. I love the fact that Disney invests in parks around the world, especially I love the fact that Disneyland Paris is getting some good stuff, because for a while there we were all a little concerned about the survival of that specific park. But I'm a little jealous, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I feel like the Walt Disney World's kind of getting the brunt of it yet again. But, this is cool. It gives me a reason to want to go back to Paris.
Yeah. So I was talking to, I was at this restaurant this past Friday. I was talking to this guy who's a contractor who's doing the rock work for Pandora. And we were talking about Disney parks.
Right.
And, he said, you guys get to go to other parks like outside the country. I said, well, I haven't been to, like any of the Asian ones or even Paris. So no. But he's saying, those parks, get seem to have like a bottomless pit of money that they can throw at things, because they're really technically, they're owned by companies in those countries, and Disney is like the parent company of that. So these guys, these investors, can just, if the need's $2 million, fine, throw $2 million there. What do we care?
Right.
Because they'll see a return on that investment.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say this, many times on the show. These other parks get the better of the money. So it's interesting. And talking about the better of the money, the next story is another killer.
Yes. So, can you believe that Tokyo Disney Sea is 15 years old?
No.
It is. The Year of Wishes from April 15th, 2016 through March 17th, 2017 is Tokyo Disney Sea's 15th anniversary. So Tokyo Disney Resort announced that to mark the 15th anniversary of the grand opening of Tokyo Disney Sea Park, a major celebration will be held at the park from April 15th, 2016 through March 17th, 2017, entitled Tokyo Disney Sea 15th Anniversary, The Year of Wishes. I feel like I just got done saying that.
Yeah.
Tokyo Disney Sea opened on September 4th, 2001. As the only Disney park themed to the sea. The theme of the park's 15th anniversary is wishes. Wishes are people's dreams for the future and give a feeling of hope and excitement. During the anniversary celebration, crystals of various colors symbolizing individual wishes will decorate the park. These crystals of wishes will also be worn by Mickey Mouse and his Disney friends. The crystal worn by Minnie Mouse is red, which represents her wish for love. The crystal worn by Donald, which symbolizes friendship, is blue, and Goofy's wish for energy is represented by a green crystal. Apparently, Pluto's will be brown. The various wishes represented by all the crystals from a clear crystal worn by Mickey Mouse. Premiering on April 15th. The opening day of the anniversary celebration will be Crystal Wish's Journey, a new show to be presented at the Mediterranean Harbor exclusively during the anniversary period. The Disney characters, each with their own wish, will appear in the show that celebrates the start of the guests' journeys of adventure, sparkling with new hope. Also, the first day of the celebration, a new version of Big Band Beat, the popular show presented at the Broadway Music Theater, will debut with new music, costumes, scenes, and the leader of the band, Goofy, showing his singing and dancing skills. Guests can also enjoy the rhythmic dance performance by Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse in their new costumes. Reimagined for the first time since it opened in July 2006, the show will feature new elements while retaining all the excitement of the original production. On July 9th, the brand new musical show, Out of Shadowland, will premiere at the Hangar Stage in Lost River Delta. This colorful show, with an original story created specifically for the Hangar Stage, will incorporate vivid images and powerful, moving live performances as dynamic scenes unfold, leading guests to a world never experienced before. That is the most generic copy I've ever seen in my entire life.
This is one of those things, too, that this came from the Oriental Land Company press site, not the Tokyo Disney press site.
Right. Also, not only, but also, a new greeting program will have Mickey Mouse and his Disney friends wearing their special 15th anniversary costumes and riding on one of the big city vehicles to greet guests at American Waterfront. And from April 15th, guests can also enjoy Sky High Wishes, the new fireworks spectacular accompanied by the 15th anniversary theme song. Other special merchandise and menu items just for the 15th anniversary will feature a motif of Mickey Mouse, the Disney friends, and the crystals of wishes, adding more excitement to the year of wishes. I'm very excited for this. I hate getting done with a story and then coming right off it with a negative comment.
I wonder what the crystals must mean something in
it's a cultural
thing. Japanese culture. Yeah, it must mean something that they're going through this whole crystal thing, and giving each crystal to a Disney character. So it must mean something in that culture. Which would be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I'm shocked at all their. This is just me being a total jerk. I am so incredibly shocked at what they're doing for Tokyo Disney Sea's 15th anniversary, and so incredibly disappointed at how crappy our 40th anniversary was at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, they're getting our 40th treatment, I think.
Yes, we had new pictures in front of the train station.
Yeah.
And I think we got the Main Street Electrical Parade back.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
and a cupcake. Oh, we got cupcakes too.
We got cupcakes. We'll have to see some video of that when it comes out. It may be interesting. We may, bite our tongues. Hey, I wanted to talk about some new construction and some opening dates that I think have been kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit. So over at Disney Springs, the Blaze Fast Fired Pizza is coming in May. The Edison is coming in late 2016. I have a feeling it's going to be sooner. I don't think it's going to really be that. Maybe. Frontera Fresco is coming this summer, and that's the Rick Bayless. The Homecoming Florida Kitchen and Southern Shine, a very short title, will be coming this summer. That's the Art Smith restaurant. STK is coming this February, and that's just weeks away from now. So that's good. The Sprinkles, we still don't have a date, but there's been a lot of talk about their cupcake ATM. I really hope that the ATM is on the outside, so even if the store is closed, you can still get a cupcake. That's what I'm hoping. Yes. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe you can take a bunch of cupcakes if I don't know. Anyway, and then the Tiffin's Nomad Lounge is going to be opening this spring of 2016. So that's coming soon. So that's it for the news. Right?
So yeah. So notice what's not on that list.
What's not on the list?
at Pandora.
No, yeah. Well, that's going to be 2017.
Right.
We're going to wait longer and longer and more and more.
Yeah.
I was asking this person that was working there. I said, "Do you have they said when this will be?" He said, "No, they don't tell us when things will be done. They just tell us to do more work,
Wow.
build things over here, build more rock things over." I think his company's also doing Disney Springs too. So
right. Yep. So that's it for the news. I guess it's time to get into the infotainment part of our show, the show after the show, so to speak.
Right.
So, so you want to open it up?
Sure. I think it is open.
Oh, nope. That's my fault.
There you go.
My bad. So we have a couple open seats if you want to come join us. We're going to talk about
10 tips.
10 tips, at least 10. I ran out of fingers at 10 tips to have a better vacation. So we're going to be talking about tips and tricks to have a better vacation at Walt Disney World, trying to save you time, energy, money, frustration. It's kind of what the things that we've learned as being pass holders for as long as Tony has, and I guess for as long as I have. I've been a pass holder for 5 years. I guess I could start saying that I've been a pass holder for a long time. I'm starting to remember old things. So if you would like to come on and chat, we've got a couple seats open for you. If not, that's fine too. We'll just keep talking. And if you got questions, if you're watching live on Blab, we'd love to have you come on. You can ask us questions in the chat. You could do /Q, and that'll get a question to our question sidebar. That way we can answer any questions you have. But let's just go ahead and get started. What's one of the first suggestions that you have for having a better vacation at Walt Disney World, my friend?
Number one is buy tickets in advance, because number one, it'll save you time. You don't have to stand in that line to get more tickets at the Magic Kingdom or somewhere else or Disney Springs or wherever you're going to buy your tickets, but get them in advance. And also, if you do buy Disney tickets online, you'll save money. And I'm sure that is the same for other parks, such as SeaWorld, Universal, and all those other things. That I know for the Eye of Orlando, I know if you buy them online and you buy the package, you can definitely really save a lot of money. So definitely buy the tickets online because you'll get a better price and you won't have to wait in those lines.
Yeah, one thing that Universal does really well is they have these kiosks that are available on at both of the front gates of the park, where if you order your tickets online, you can put it in the credit card that you use and it'll pop out your tickets for you. So I think that I've heard rumors that we used to have something similar to that.
Yeah, they used to be at the TTC, but they have not been operational for a gazillion years.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays, I think if you buy them online from Disney, you can either print them at home, and then you bring that printed paper to the turnstile. You don't have to go pick up tickets. You bring it to the turnstile, and they will actually scan that, and then that will become your ticket media for the day. Right. If they're a multi-day, I think then you'll have to pick up some kind of ticket media. Right. But if it's a one-day ticket, you can just bring that printed piece of paper. I've also seen people use their app, too. They can scan your app and get your ticket media from that barcode, too. So
Right. Yeah. Joel has a couple of great ideas here. One of them is on my list is next, which is schedule your fast passes early, as early as possible. If you can get your tickets, you can schedule your fast pass up to 60 days in advance. Now, this does not necessarily hold true for pass holders. We have a little bit of a different system, but if you're coming down for a vacation, make sure that you're paying very close attention to the dates for your dining reservations and your fast passes. So you want to make sure you get those as quick as possible. And if I could jump in on this one thing, Joel has another really good suggestion. Is make sure that you can, there's different services, apps, and websites that monitor crowd levels. So you can schedule your days accordingly. So if you see that Magic Kingdom is super, super busy on the Monday of your trip, don't go to Magic Kingdom on Monday. if you
Right.
can if you can pay attention to that. But
Right.
just be aware that there's a lot of people doing a lot of these things. So
Yep.
Yep.
The next one up is have rest days. A lot of my family and friends that come down, oh my God, I came home from vacation, I was exhausted. Vacation shouldn't be exhausting.
Right.
You should come back rested and relaxed. So if you were coming back from your vacation exhausted, you're doing it wrong.
Correct.
So plan rest days where you just stay by the pool, or you'll just do some crazy minor little touristy things. Maybe you just go to the mall. Maybe you just walk around I Drive or something, where you can just relax and spend family time too. I mean, that's what vacation is also about.
Right.
It's not this commando, I got to be bam, 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 and have an itinerary and a list of things to do and get it all done. That's not the way you want to do it. You want to, plan some things, have some spontaneity time, have some family time, and just rest and relax. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason that Disney spends a lot of time and energy on making sure that the resorts that they build are really, really nice and comfortable,
right,
and filled with different things you can do. If you're staying at like Animal Kingdom or Wilderness Lodge, they have different tours that you can take of those resorts. There's all sorts of things you could do. If you're staying on a monorail resort, you could do a monorail crawl and go from resort to resort and just hang out. You can spend several days at Disney and never go into a park and still have an amazing experience. And when you do that, you discover some of the hidden pieces of Disney magic, and you also discover how incredible the Disney cast members can be.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
So Joel asked a question. Let me ask you this question, then I'll chime in.
Mm-hmm.
Should you rent a car or take Disney transportation? When you consider time is money, what should someone do? What makes the most sense, T?
That's a tricky question because I think it depends on each family. So I would tell a family, take your Disney Magical Express to Disney. Do your Disney thing. And if you're going to go to SeaWorld, Universal, and whatever, then rent a car just for those days that you're going to, go to SeaWorld or go to Universal or go to, the Space Coast or whatever. This way you're not paying for a rental car the whole time it's sitting in a Disney parking lot. Disney will get you there. You can take Disney transportation around Disney and then just pay for the rental car that you do that. Now, if you're not going to take a rental car, Uber is the other alternative, and that will save you even more money than the rental car, I think. But if you got a large family and you're 6 or 8 people or whatever, you may have to rent something like a little minivan rather than doing Uber. Right. But there are Uber XL and was it XLT or whatever?
Yeah.
So they can accommodate larger groups too. So
right.
Look into that. You definitely I don't think you want to take a cab because they're just way overpriced, here in Orlando.
Right.
So that's usually my recommendation. I know Alamo is at Disney. I know they will pick you up at your hotel, take you to the Alamo Rent a Center, which is at the TTC. You rent your car, you can drive back to your hotel, and then at the end, you drop it off at TTC, and they'll take you back to your Disney hotel.
Right.
I also know that if you take Magical Express to Disney, and then you say go to a Universal hotel and you finish your vacation over there, they will make arrangements to take you back to the airport as well. I've heard that from a couple different travel agents, so that's even an option.
Yeah, but be cautious because I'm not sure that's 100% free. It might not be included.
It may not be free, but I think if you're staying in one of the 2 better resorts, I think you can finagle them to pay for it because they want your money too.
Correct.
That's what I've heard.
Yes, and if you're going to Universal, I'll go ahead and throw it out there as a bonus. You don't need a car at Universal.
Yeah.
Universal Transportation will take good care of you over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next on the list, my friend. That would be me. That'd be me. I'm sorry. I apologize because I like to edit.
Yeah.
The next piece of advice I kind of mentioned earlier is make your dining reservations. Now, dining reservations you can make 180 days in advance. So you get 60 months or 60 days on fast passes, 180 days for dining reservations. Be very careful about dining reservations because Disney has added this, little fee that if you no show for reservation, they'll take your credit card, and they'll charge you per person for a no show. A certain fees like $10 or $20, something like that.
Right.
So
$10.
yeah,
it's $10 per person.
Right. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention. If you're going to make a reservation, better plan on being there, or make sure that you cancel it within the allotted time. But get your dining reservations. This is one of the hardest things for locals to do is get dining reservations at good restaurants. So if you have to go eat at, Be Our Guest, if you just absolutely have to for whatever reason, make your dining reservation. If you absolutely have to eat at California Grill and you don't know how the locals do California Grill, which there's no way I'm telling you how we're doing it, to get a reservation 180 days out. Disney has also cracked down on those services where if you didn't get the dining reservation that you wanted, you could purchase one. You can't do that anymore. Disney's pretty much put the kibosh on that.
Right.
So there's that. And then we did get a really good suggestion. One of the things that Tony and I both do is a little thing called Tables in Wonderland. And unless you're doing a dining plan, which Disney released a brand new offer this week, where you can get, if you're staying at a value resort, if you get a ticket and a room package, you get one quick service meal per person in your party free.
Right.
But if you're not going to do like a dining plan, then your next bet would be to get something it's called Tables in Wonderland. Now, I think it's like $125, $150. But what it does is when you purchase a meal, Disney takes 20% off your ticket, not alcohol. I don't think. But the flip side is they then turn around and put an 18% gratuity, which you're going to tip anyway. So you're really saving yourself 2% in the grand scheme of things, but you're saving yourself 20% off your ticket. And the cool thing is, if you're driving your own vehicle, it's free valet with Tables in Wonderland. Oh yeah. Which, if you're going to downtown Disney, can be a lifesaver.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely a lifesaver. I used it a lot this weekend, so yeah. All right. The next one on the list is get a parade or a show spot. And this kind of sounds weird. And people, I think, can go sometimes overboard on this too. So the Magic Kingdom, let's take the Festival of Fantasy parade, for instance. It's a 3:00 parade, typically, on most days. They've been known to do it at different times, but it's typically at 3:00. And I've seen people line up like as early as noon. That may be a little too crazy. I mean, maybe you don't want to waste 3 hours of your day. But if it's something that your family really enjoys, I would suggest getting a spot. Maybe not as early as 12 o'clock, but you definitely want to do it. And if you do it as a family, you can get some ice cream, or you can get a Dole Whip, or you can get a snack, and you can sit on the curb. And once again, have that family time, that interaction time with your family, not with your iPhone, not with your iPad, not with your whatever mobile device you have, but just your family. Sitting on the curb, chatting. Hey, what did you like today? What didn't you like today? That kind of thing. What do you want to do tomorrow? Those kind of things. And I think that's the one of the benefits of seeing the parade. The other thing too is it gives your family some time to rest. Right. You can rest, get ready for the rest of the day. That's kind of it's not in the middle of the day, but it's kind of in the middle of the day. And then you can get ready for the nighttime activities or whatever's coming up for the rest of your day. So, and even if it's a show, if it's a nighttime show or things like that, once again, it's another place or another time that your family can regroup, get together, and spend some time together.
Right.
So the suggestion is, get a parade time or show time and spend that family time.
Right. And make sure that if you're doing that a lot, don't let it be the same person. Don't make grandma sit at the curb because she doesn't feel like walking a lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of rude. I've seen it done. But the other thing is you have to realize that for parades and stuff, there's a lot of different places where you can see a parade.
Yes.
That are really good. Like if you get in the train station, they have seats on the upper level. They actually have seats by the railing. You can sit and watch the parade. The other thing is if you're in that Main Street USA, the little hub area where the flagpole is, not a lot of people watch the parade there. So that's usually great last minute. Hey, I want to catch the parade and still have a good spot.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, one thing I too throw, the question I get asked a lot is it worth a fast pass? And once again, that's a family preference. If it's something that your family has to do and they love the Main Street Electrical Parade, or they love the 3 o'clock parade, or they love Wishes, and you want to have space without having to sacrifice sitting for an hour maybe, then yes, get the fast pass. If not, then you're going to have to, sit and wait.
Right. But there's a lot of other things you could do with that fast pass. Sure. You don't want to burn a fast pass just to watch the parade.
Right.
There's a lot of ways you can watch the parade from really good vantage points. But I digress. The next thing is, let's say that you are hell-bent for leather to ride all the rides, or you have not yet ridden the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. There's really only one way that you are guaranteed to ride the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. That is to get there before the park opens, early before the park opens. Like, get a breakfast reservation early. So our advice is to arrive early and stay late if you're trying to get things done. So what normally happens is at the earliest part of the day, at what we call rope drop, the front part of the day, there's nobody in the parks. There might be a couple of handfuls of people, like I said, who have reservations for some breakfast at some of the areas. But for the most part, there's nobody in the parks. And you can run back, not run, they won't let you run, but you can go back to the rides that you really want to ride most. Like if you're trying to get on to Toy Story Mania, right when the park opens, there is no line for Toy Story Mania. You can walk right through the queue. But you have to get there early, as in like if the park opens at 9, you need to be standing there at 8, if that's a big deal. So what normally happens is, park opens, you've got a good hour and a half before the really long lines start forming. And then the flip side is, as the day progresses, as it gets later and later, and especially during like the fireworks show or the castle projection show, the lines kind of decrease a little bit because, especially after the fireworks show, unless the park's closing right then, parents want to get their kids back to the resorts and go to sleep. So the lines kind of die down. So if you're trying to get things done, arrive super early or stay super late. Now, how this benefits you is during the middle of the day, go back to your resort, chill out, relax, take a nap, hit the pool, have a nice leisurely dinner, and then go back to the park that you want to attack that night, and then stay kind of late. It's a vacation. Let the kids stay up late and rock and roll all night.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. That almost kind of contradicts, the other thing of, rest days, but sometimes you have to do it. You have to get it done to, get it off your list, So I'm not an early riser. I'm really not.
No, really?
No, really.
I'll tell you, my partner that does the real life podcast with me, dude, you are an early riser.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think you've said he doesn't get it.
I love him, and I'm not knocking him. I'm not bashing him at any stretch. His schedule is completely different than most of us, but
it's like he's working the graveyard shift or something.
Pretty much. So like I get on the horn with him about 1 o'clock, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I just woke up." I'm like, "Dude, I've been going since 6 o'clock this morning. You gotta be kidding me." But that's the difference between his schedule and my schedule. But
the next one up is plan for the weather. All right, let me give you an example. So Saturday, it went from 80 to 40 in a matter of a day. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to happen in August, but I will say there are some times of the year that the weather can vary wildly here in Florida, and right now we are experiencing them. I'm not complaining. It's still Florida, and it's still sunshine. So make sure that you go to weather.com or wherever you get your weather from, and look at the forecast and look at what the highs and the lows are going to be, because it can get really crazy. It can be very warm during the day, and then you're waiting for the Main Street Electrical Parade, and it's like 40 degrees, and you need a jacket, and you're sitting out there in shorts and a t-shirt, saying what happened. So you either have to go back to your room and get them if you don't feel like carrying them. You can put them in lockers at Disney. Each park has lockers in the front. You can certainly bring all that stuff and then put it in a locker. And then when you need it during the day or at night, you can certainly have it. And then the other thing is the rain season. We can get crazy rain. It could be sunshine 1 minute and downpour where you're knee deep in water in the Magic Kingdom. So bring rain gear. Once again, if you don't want to carry it around, put it in a little bag or whatever, toss it in a locker, and then hopefully you'll be able to, figure out that it's going to rain and get to the locker, before you're soaking wet. And I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before. If you ever hear a cast member, the custodians are a good example. If you hear them and you hear a squawk on their radio, like a pop, 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 that is telling them that rain is on the way. It's very close to their area, and this way the cast members can go run for cover. So if you ever hear, you're walking by a custodian and you hear this squawking noise coming from his radio, you're going to want to go get shelter pretty quickly or find an umbrella, because it's going to rain soon. So that's another good tip.
Yeah, and it's never a matter of if it's going to rain. It's usually a matter of when.
When, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And winter is just our crazy season. But
yeah.
And then the one season that we left off was hot season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hot. Sunscreen, kids.
Yeah, sunscreen, and once you're down to your shorts and your t-shirt, you pretty much, that's it. You're either in a pool or you're in a air-conditioned area. That's,
right. Yeah, and you'll learn really quick how to navigate through the park and stay as air-conditioned as possible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the second, the next thing is really, especially for people who are coming from Disneyland to Walt Disney World, and really everybody, you need to realize that Disney World is 47 square miles. It's a big place. So the problem becomes you forget how large the scale of Walt Disney World is, and you have to give yourself plenty of time. So if you're in your resort and you have a dinner reservation inside of the park and you're leaving your resort with about 30 minutes to your dinner reservation, you are going to be late. There's no way around it. Give yourself plenty of time, because you have to deal with either Disney transportation, which is efficient, but it's not necessarily convenient, because most of the resort buses do not just go to one resort and back. Normally they go to multiple resorts, and you can never really tell unless you just happen to really know their schedule where they're going next. And that's also for going home. So if you're thinking you're going to leave the Magic Kingdom when the fireworks are over at 10:15, and you're going to get on a bus and you're going to have the kids in bed by, 10:45, and you're staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village, you're not going to make that. If you're staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, the main house, Jumbo House, tack on another 10 minutes, because you go to Kidani Village first, then you go to, Jumbo House. So Disney transportation, super convenient for no car, not necessarily time effective. Give yourself plenty of time. Make sure that you're also factoring in that Disney wants you there at least 10 to 20 minutes ahead of your reservation time to make sure that you're there. And again, don't get caught if you have a reservation or a fast pass time. If you have a reservation, you put a credit card down on, and you miss your reservation, it's going to cost you money, and you have to find food on top of that.
Right. Yeah, that's all good tip. I always used to leave myself an hour and a half to get from a resort.
Right.
Resort to resort is even harder than resort to park.
Mm.
If you're going from a resort to resort, just get an Uber car. It's way quicker.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. If you've got a friend who's a local, if you're not a local and you're coming in, call your friend, take them out to coffee, do what you got to do, bend their ear, and find out how to get around, because you can get from, Old Key West and Saratoga Springs, even downtown Disney to a point, or Disney Springs to a point. But any of those resorts over there, the French Quarter, you can get to the Magic Kingdom pretty quick because there's a back road. You can get to Epcot pretty quick because it's a back road.
Right.
Even Hollywood Studios, coming from places like Animal Kingdom, you're stuck because you have to go major roadways.
Yeah.
And, in between the tooling around the different resorts, you have traffic and you're dealing with people who don't normally drive around Florida, and Floridians drive crazy.
Yeah. They used to give these out back in the day.
Oh, wow. An area map. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. And I don't know if they still do or not. You may have to go hunt it down, but this is actually kind of pretty useful.
Yeah.
So it's got everything on it, and you can figure out how to get from place to place.
Now, the amazing thing about that is, put that back up, T. If you look at that map, there's a ton of stuff at Walt Disney World, but look at all that free space. Yeah. I mean, it's not exactly to scale, I'm sure, but dude, there's so much space there.
Yeah. You can ask a cast member, and I think not that people use them anymore, but the park maps, they used to tell you how to get from place to place. It said, like, if you're going from the Magic Kingdom to Epcot, it would tell you could take a bus, a boat, or a monorail. And just map thing one more time. This is what they used to give to cast members back in the day. I don't know if they still give these out either. This had multiple maps in it. Obviously, there was the overall map, and they had a map for each park. And then on the inside was the doozy. This is the thing that they don't do anymore, the transportation network. So you could tell people how to get from place to place down there. And then the overall map of the resort. So I don't even know if all of this still even works. If you can do some of these things, bus or boat or whatever. Anyway, I should take a picture and put this up on the internet.
Yeah, you should. Hey, do you happen to know off the top of your head, Joel's asking what percentage of the square footage or square miles are undeveloped?
I think it's a very large percentage, but they do have a certain percentage that's been put aside to for conservation. Yeah.
What's that, like 33%? I think, right? 30%?
Something like that. It's a crazy number, but they've already asked the county back for Hollywood Studios. So, you have to remember they are their own government. So even though they put it aside, they can take it back. I don't know if they'll do that. On purpose.
Normally they trade it out. It's like we need this land. Yeah. We need this land right here. I think that's what they're doing for Hollywood Studios. They're taking this much land, and we're taking it back from conservation, and then we're going to take this chunk of land over here. We're going to turn it into conservation. And I know that they've taken. Have you seen the solar farm?
Yes.
Oh my good Lord.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. So they've got this area. If you're going down World Drive, like you're going to the Magic Kingdom, but you're actually going to Epcot. Right before you get to Epcot, there's this giant area of solar farms, solar panels. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's factoring in too.
Yeah, we've said this before too. Disney's putting up a solar farm, but they do have permission from the state to have a nuclear power plant. So they could go nuclear or they went solar. So I'm kind of glad they went with the solar.
Yeah, if they go nuclear, I'm not going back. Not happening.
Mickey's going to start going. Whoa, whoa. All right, so let's move on to the other things. The other thing you can do is something called purchase a Disney memory maker. And maybe John knows a little bit about more about this than I do. I have never really done this, but the memory maker allows you to purchase this little card, almost kind of like a PhotoPass card, but then you get all of your pictures that are taken by a PhotoPass person that you can then buy or download online, and then they could do different things like put Tinkerbell in your hand or turn you into a Jedi or all these other crazy things, the picture frame things that they do. You get all these other things. If you go to, say, Chef Mickey and there's a photo there, you don't have to pay for it. That comes with your memory maker as well. So all of those pictures are included. You really don't have to, take your camera on vacation because Disney will, take all of the pictures for you.
Right.
And then if you buy the memory maker, you get them all.
Right.
And I think they even give you a CD with other pictures like Disney stock photos. I've bought those myself. I have a couple of discs. I try to buy one every couple of years, because they change up the images in them, obviously. Right. New things come and old things go. And I like to have those stock images for the hell of it.
Right.
So it's a really great idea. And if you're ever in a park and you see the PhotoPass person, have them take a picture with your camera. You don't have to be, they don't have to take a picture with theirs. Just give them your camera and they'll take a picture of you and your family. Yeah, they're probably going to take a picture with their camera too, but you don't have to use it. Just something you can do.
Yeah, what sets Memory Maker apart is everything that you get when you purchase it. You get all of the PhotoPass photography, so all the pictures that the Disney photographers are taking, including those magic shots. So you're standing there, and then Tinkerbell flies in. So, and then the cool thing is you get all of your on-ride photos, all of your character meal photos, and you remember a year or so ago, Disney installed video cameras. So now you get on-ride video. So if you guys were riding Tower of Terror, there's a video of you throwing your hands up and puking. You actually get all of that too. You also get special opportunities for pictures like, the holidays at the resorts. They have special photo areas. Bippity Boppity Boutique's got some photo areas. And then the cool thing is you get all that stuff that Tony talked about, and then you can go to the one site. You can download all the photos, and you can get your photos printed on different things if you want a mug or a calendar or all that stuff. Of course, that part costs extra. The cool thing is everything is like Tony said. It's done for you. You can go. You don't even have to take your camera. However, the prohibitive part for me and my family is that it's $149 if you purchase it before your vacation. If you purchase it at the door, it's $169. So you have to weigh if that's worth it to you. But it's a heck of a feature.
Yeah. And I think I've seen them offer it for as low as $99.
Yeah.
In advance, special times of the year. Too. So, always ask either your travel agent or Disney when you're booking how much Memory Maker is, because they may have a special deal on it.
Right, absolutely, and that's another thing, and we're not going to promote a specific travel agency, but if you are going to book a Disney vacation, Disney cruise, anything like that, go through a Disney authorized vacation planner. And make sure that they are authorized by Disney, because a lot of people go pull the sticker and they put it on their website, but that's not cool. Make sure they're earmarked. That's the question.
Right.
Are you earmarked? And because it shouldn't cost you anything extra or all that much extra, and they take a lot of the pressure out of it. And the last thing you want to happen on your vacation is get to the resort and your resort's reservations messed up and you have to start dealing with Disney one-on-one, that's a pain in the butt. The best thing you do is be able to call your travel agent and say, hey, this is wrong. I need you to fix it. And, and then you let them deal with it and you go have a cocktail and you can actually enjoy your vacation. So that's a freebie. But my last piece of advice, and this kind of goes hand in hand with have a day off, is the magic of Walt Disney World is not how many rides you ride in a day. The magic of Walt Disney World is how many miles and steps you can put on your stepper, how much you can see. It's not quantity. The magic of Walt Disney World is quality. So our biggest piece of advice is to stop and smell the roses, because Disney, if you listen to the show, you know that I have a tendency to kind of be that guy, because Disney frustrates the hell out of me sometimes. But when I go and I don't have an agenda, I don't have anything I have to do, there's so much great stuff in the Disney parks, because there's hidden Mickeys. You can go on a hidden Mickey quest. You can find the hidden Mickey book. We know Steve Barrett. He's an amazing dude. For $15, you can buy a book in the parks that you can go on a hidden Mickey quest all throughout Walt Disney World and have an incredible adventure just trying to find these little hidden Mickeys. You wouldn't have to ride a ride and you'll still have a great time. There's Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, which is inside of Magic Kingdom, obviously. It's games you can play there. There's Pirate Adventure in Adventureland. There's all sorts of great stuff. There's and so a lot of the stuff is free. Like you can go on the Perry the Platypus Agent P adventure in Epcot, totally free. You can go all around, and you as an adult or your kids can go around a World Showcase and learn a lot about the different countries, and that's cool. So get up early. Don't ride a ride. Just go somewhere. Go to Magic Kingdom, watch Rope Drop, watch the sun fully come up over the castle, go to Starbucks, grab yourself a coffee and some type of a bakery treat, and just sit down and just realize that you are in an incredible place and enjoy yourself. Sit down and have a cocktail at any of the amazing lounges across Walt Disney World Resort. Make sure that you have a meal. Spend the money and have a high-end meal with your family or your spouse. Disney's got some resorts they have, kid watching. Drop your kids off or get somebody to watch your kids. Go have an adult dinner at an incredible restaurant. Let Disney service shock the snot out of you. Or go over to the Four Seasons and let the Four Seasons do things that just blow your mind. Enjoy the fact that you're in Walt Disney World. This was his creation. This was something that he wanted to build that was different. And if you're in Disneyland, there's tons of places there as well. Stop, relax, and enjoy what the Imagineers and Walt Disney created for us.
I agree, 100%. 100%. That's what it's all about. Look up, look down, look all around. Make sure that you're not missing anything. Main Street's got a lot of windows. You can do some window shopping. You can take some backlot tours or backstage tours. You can take hotel tours. All of those kind of things are all things where you don't have to, be a crazy park nut and try and ride, every single ride in the Magic Kingdom in one day. Lots of things to do.
You've got 11 countries in World Showcase. Spend an entire day just going through those pavilions.
Yeah. Really talking to the people, the people really that are representative of that country.
Soak in the culture. Eat. Well, I don't like this kind of food. Okay, we'll try it. Just do little, like tapa size throughout the entire place. You can eat throughout the entire day, and you can have some incredible food, learn some incredible stuff, and meet some amazing cast members from all around the world.
I love going to Japan and trying one of their crazy candies or snacks in that shop. You never, I think what was one of them? The shrimp potato chips.
Yeah. Mm.
They're kind of weird, but they weren't too bad. I mean, come the end of the day, they're potato chips,
Right.
with a shrimp seasoning on them.
Right.
If you like Old Bay, that's probably what they just sprinkle on there.
Yeah, they've got in the back of the big Japanese store, which, side note, that's the only store of its kind outside of Japan.
Yeah, right.
And they have a sake bar in the back. It's incredible. Your pavilion, my friend, the Italian pavilion, they have the Tutto Gusto, which is built like you're in the basement of somebody's home. They have couches. You just go and you sit and you nosh on these really amazing meats and cheeses and wines. And, not to mention La Cava de Tequila. God knows the money that I've spent at La Cava de Tequila. And I hope that they really bring back the after hours events they were doing at Epcot, where it was like $50, $60 a person.
No, it was 35.
Oh, it's $35 a person. Oh yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, so it was $35 a person, and certain pavilions, and you went and you had a sampling of cocktails, you had a sampling of food. Yeah,
it was either beer or wine, and then you got to pick some kind of food sampling that went with that, different little samplings.
Yeah, it was so good. We did the tequila. We did several that last year.
We did the Italian one together.
We did the Italian. We did Sarah and I did Mexico. We also did Great Britain. Great Britain was the best food, shockingly best food. And La Cava de Tequila. Oh, yeah, I know, it was crazy, right? But it was, you had bangers and mash, and you had sheets and cheeses and stuff. It was it's not off menu stuff. It was really good. And then you have like over in Mexico, you go through and you find out how tequila is made, and you sample these different types of tequilas. It was incredible for like $40, $35 a person.
35, I think.
And see, here's the thing. This is the advantage of being. Now is when you see me light up and be passionate about the parks. This is the kind of stuff I love to go to the resorts. And when we go to Disney, we barely go into the parks, to be brutally honest with you. Like I said earlier, Sarah and I will go to Sanaa. We'll order a bread service. Bread service is about 4 or 5 pieces of bread and 12 dipping sauces. You've been there with us, T. Well, it's 12 dipping sauces. It's way more dipping sauces than you need, but they sell individual pieces of naan bread. So we'll order like 3 or 4 rounds of naan bread, and we'll eat all the dipping sauces. We'll have a bottle or 2 of wine. We'll be joined by friends. We're sitting at the family table inside the bar. We're not even in the restaurant. And we spent 2 hours having an amazing time, hanging out with friends. And that has nothing to do with a ride. That has nothing to do with an agenda. And it's awesome. And then at the end of it, you walk outside, zebra butt. That's all I got to say. Zebra butt. It's amazing.
Yep.
So smell the roses at Disney. Find some off the beaten path. Yeah, find some off the beaten path.
Literally. Yeah.
That's one of the pluses about being a local. We can find these things, and that's why Tony and I share them so much with you here, because we don't want you to just be all about the rides. We love the rides. Don't misunderstand us.
Right.
But we definitely want you to feel the magic of the parks. It has nothing to do with, hey, I've ridden Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I've ridden it 3,000 times, and I'll ride it 3,000 more. But dude, I would trade 1,000 rides on Pirates of the Caribbean for one evening with several close friends, a bottle of wine, some bread service from Sanaa any day of the year. That is what magic of Disney is all about.
Yeah, coming up in February. I made reservations, by the way.
Sanaa's done. Done. What night are we going?
Friday night.
Friday night. Sounds good.
Right. All right. I think that's it. I think we should put a fork in this, literally, and say we'll see you in the parks.